begin to feel overload, we'll begin to feel what we are saying. If you begin to feel overload, consider your Earth. What do you feel?
On the first day, we drove 12 hours from Cochrane to Nanaimo, spent the night at the Coast Bastion Inn at the port on Nanaimo, and then we woke up that morning and drove from Nanaimo all the way to Port Renfrew and found a hotel that was right next to the trailhead where we would begin our hike. We went into the office at the trailhead and got some information and then called it a night. It was really nice to have a hotel before we went on our hike. But the next morning when I woke up and went to the orientation at the office, I started to realize that I would be away from society for 6 days. And it was frightening, but at the same time it was really, really exciting.
This is really pretty, and we just started and I'm probably gonna die in like the next 10 minutes.
exactly 70 kilometers until we're done.
That was really heavy.
I got us now.
Okay. I'm like really scared of what we're about to do.
Okay, ready?
Can you make this go slow?
No, I'm gonna just let it go.
Are you? Don't do that. I'm like really scared. Kelly, I'm really scared.
Are you recording?
Yes!
I'll go slow. Okay.
Go slow. Don't go fast.
We're in this like tiny
Ah!
miniature little thing. Oh, and look down now.
This is us on a freaking scary cable car.
So what do you think of the trail so far?
I think it's really nice, and now I have confidence that I can do it.
We finished our first day of hiking at Camper Bay, had dinner on the beach, and set up tent past the shoreline. Both of us were happy to find out that this campsite had a toilet and a freshwater stream to fill our water bottles. We were told during the orientation, and also by passing hikers, that we were starting from the difficult side of the hike, and that it was only going to get easier from here. It felt good to know that we were getting the hard parts of the trail finished while we were fresh and energized. In our first day, we took the ferry across Gordon River and hiked 13 kilometers of the trail. At the 5-kilometer mark, we passed by Thrasher's Cove, where we could have stayed, but we decided to go the extra 8 kilometers to Camper Bay. This way, we had a good head start on the trail. Just before we hit kilometer 72, we saw a large machine in the middle of the forest. That's so random, hey? What is that thing? Just like a random thing in the middle of the forest. It's called the Derelict Donkey Machine, and in the past, it was used for hauling logs and building roads. Now it just sits on the West Coast Trail for passers-by to enjoy. What a strange thing to see in the forest. Day 2. First thing, ladders. When you go the backwards route like we are, you count down in numbers. So instead of like ladder 3 and then we have 35 still, we're counting down. So every time we do a ladder, it's like we have less ladders to do. Feels like that anyways. And it's the same with kilometers. It's like instead of counting up kilometers up to 75, we're counting down. So we started at 75 where all the signs are, and every time we get to a kilometer it shows us how many we have left, so that's kind of nice. The second night on the trail, we arrived at Walbrand Creek, 9 kilometers from Camper Bay.
Getting close.
Yep. This section of the trail proved to be the hardest part of the hike for me and Alicia, due to the large number of ladders in such a short distance. Other than the campsite, Camper Bay, built onto the beach, these first 2 days of hiking have been completely inside the forest. So when we came to Walbrand Creek, we were excited to see that we would not only be setting up next to the ocean, but the following morning we could wake up early and take the beach route all the way to our next target campsite. July and August are the busiest months of the year for the West Coast Trail. This is a result of more desirable weather patterns during these months. The trail is generally drier and warmer, making it easier to traverse and therefore more enjoyable. However, this makes it harder to get onto the trail because more people are battling for reservations. The West Coast Trail allows a maximum of 60 people to begin the trail each day. This means that 30 people will begin from the Port Renfrew side, and the other 30 people will begin from the Bamfield side. Each day, 5 of the 30 spots on both sides of the trail are left open for walk-ons. So if you're feeling very lucky, you can go to the trailhead without a reservation and hope to get on.
Rolling.
You taking a video?
Yep.
Well, this is our second night in the tent. It's pretty roomy. That's the tent. We just had the grand tour.
And what about the ocean?
Quite grand.
What about the ocean? We didn't hear it last night.
We didn't hear the ocean last night, but tonight we're right next to it, so we're definitely gonna hear the ocean tonight.
So I guess we'll see how well we sleep.
Yep. It's gonna be an ocean experience. We woke up early the next morning and began our first hike along the beach. Walking on the sand made hiking feel sluggish because with every step our feet sunk into the sand, making it feel like we were dragging our toes. But despite this aspect, me and Alicia were traveling much faster today than the previous 2 days, averaging a kilometer every 10 minutes.
It's the upside down tree. It grows all the way from the air backwards into the ground.
The previous night at Walbrand Creek, I noticed there were tons of buoys hung up in the trees with a name and date carved into every one. So I picked up a few buoys along the beach to make my own trail piece.
This is what Kelly decided to add on as extra, as well as these things right here.
Before long, we reached a hut 7 kilometers from where we left. When we got closer to the hut, we realized it was a glorious haven of burgers, assorted candies, baked goods, and drinks. Everyone else hiking along the trail was stopped here to have a burger. Unfortunately, the only cash me and Alicia had was a 20, so we settled for an array of baked goods. If you're planning the West Coast Trail, make sure to have a substantial stash of cash in your bag somewhere. By noon, we were the first to arrive at Cribbs Creek campsite. This campsite was by far the most breathtaking spot we had stopped at yet.
Do you like this part?
Yeah, it's pretty.
So we set up tent and had the rest of the day to enjoy the beach. After setting up camp, me and Alicia ditched our stuff and went out onto the beach to see sea lions perched up onto some rocks about 1 kilometer from shore. Unexpectedly, we also saw a whale nearby. One of the main aspects that makes the West Coast Trail so different from many other hikes is adjusting your time around the tide. During the orientation for the trail, you are given a map that will not only serve to direct you, it will also help you with tide times and heights. Each tide table corresponds with the dates that you will be on the trail. The table is split into days, and each day shows the time and height of low tide and high tide. It gives measurements in feet as well as meters, and it uses a 24-hour clock, or more commonly known as military time. How many kilometers did we carry this?
Like 8.
Carried it, 8 kilometers today to camp.
Mm-hmm.
Up a ladder. And
So you went one-handed up the ladder?
across a pretty much a mountain that the tide was too high, so you couldn't walk where you're supposed to walk.
Yep.
And then tons of hiking on the beach, carrying this thing.
How much does it weigh?
Like this, like I was pregnant.
How much does it weigh?
Oh shit, probably like, everything's always lighter when you're in the middle of the day, but this is like 15-20 pounds. Yeah.
Strap it right off this end thing.
Put it right. Is that good?
Yeah, it looks good.
Can you see the name?
Yeah.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. So,
What?
Alicia found right there. And then there's mine. Right there.
Wicked.
A Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
The next morning, the trail was covered in a fog. After a few hours, the fog cleared and me and Alicia made it to the second ferry crossing. At this crossing, there was a small restaurant where you can have crab legs and more goodies if you have the cash.
What you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the mist, catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift.
Uh-oh. Oh my god. Look what happened to the boardwalk. gone. Sunk underneath. We have to go through a freaking swamp. Just joking. It's right there. New one. Ha ha ha.
The days Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you, and the space he invades, he gets by on you.
Along our hike, me and Alicia took the beach access at kilometer 29 and hiked the hole in the wall at kilometer 27. While we were walking across the beach, a bald eagle was hunting for fish nearby, and when we came to the hole in the wall, the eagle landed right next to us in the trees.
No, his mind is not for rent to any god or government. Always hopeful yet discontent. Those changes aren't permanent. Oh, changes.
Hi.
And what you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the witness, catch the wit, catch the spirit, catch the spit. The world is love and life are deep. Maybe as his eyes are wide. Exit the warrior, today's Tom Sawyer. He gets high on you, and the energy you trade, he gets right on to the friction of the day.
After finishing the trail, me and Alicia both agreed that although there were hard spots on the hike was not as difficult as we anticipated it to be. That being said, I believe that if it was raining the entire hike, me and Alicia would have had a much more difficult time. All in all, I would label the West Coast Trail intermediate based on difficulty. Originally, we reserved our bus ride to meet us after 6 nights and 7 days on the trail. However, at a steady pace, we completed the trail in 5 nights and 6 days. We were lucky and managed to move our bus reservation to the day we finished.
I'm like crazy.
We are now done the West Coast Trail.
Thank God. It was really fun.
It was
But-
really fun.
We're both freaking tired, and
Yeah.
6 days was enough out there.
Yeah, we did it in 6 days because 7 days was a little overkill to be out there.
5 we could have.
We could have done it in
But,
5,
yeah.
but 6 was like enjoying it and going kind of slow. So.
I have become the jungle. I'm hungry.